Today we will be talking about Beowulf, both the really old poem and the 2007 movie based on it. I'm your host, and we're going to break down what's the same, what's different, and why it matters.
First, let's look at the similar and differences between the poem and the movie. Both tells the story of a hero who faces three big fights, but the movie changes a lot of things from the original story. In the poem, Beowulf is a perfect hero who fights monsters and dies protecting his people. Simple, right? But the movie makes things a little more complicated. It adds a twist, saying that Grendel, that is the monster, is actually King Rutger's son, born from a secret relationship with Grendel's mother. This changes everything about the story.
So, why did the people making the movie change so much? They probably wanted to make the story more interesting for today's viewers. Most of us like stories where characters have to make tough choices and aren't just all good or all bad. By adding family drama and tough decisions, they made the old story feel more real to us today. This brings us to how the idea of a hero is different in the two versions. In the poem, Beowulf is the perfect warrior, brave, loyal, and always doing the right thing. But in the movie, he makes mistakes and can be tempted to do the wrong thing. He's more like a real person, showing that even heroes aren't perfect.
Now let's talk about Glenn. The movie treats him very differently rather than the poem. We see that in the book he's just an evil monster that wants to be killed, but the movie shows another side of him. We see when he's angry and when he's hurting. We see that he's in pain because of loud noises and they hurt his ears, and we can see and learn more about his backstory. Do you end up feeling sorry about Grendel in the movie? Because many people do. For example, I did. When we see him suffering and learn he's basically an outsider who never really asked to be born the way he was, it's hard not to feel a little bad for him. He's just not a monster anymore. He's more like a misunderstood outcast.
Do you know what's really interesting about these changes? The movie takes the monster's mother, who's just called Grendel's mother in the poem, and turns her into this complex character with real motivation and personality. In the original, she's basically just another monster to fight, just as Grendel. But the movie makes her this powerful, mysterious figure who can change her appearance and tempts heroes with promises of power and fame. It's like they took this one-dimensional character and gave her all these new layers. This is another great example of how the movie adds moral complexity where the poem had clear-cut good versus evil as the general theme. Instead of just having Beowulf show up and solve everything with this strength, we get all these questions about power, temptation, and what people will do to get what they want. As you can see in the movie, Grendel and his mother come to fight Hrothgar because of a reason, because of a family problem, some kinds of things that happened in the past. But in the poem, it's just like the bad people, like the demons and the monsters, that are only killed because they are bad. But in the story, filmed in the movie, it has like a backstory with a real meaning in it.
This kind of big change from book to movie happens a lot. Think about Frankenstein. The book is all about big ideas, like what it means to be human and whether scientists should do everything they can do. But most movies just make a scary story about a monster. They leave out all the deep stuff the book talks about. When we look at all these changes, it makes us think about why movies based on books or poems are often so different from the original. Sometimes the changes help tell the story better on screen, and sometimes they might lose what made the original story special. What's cool is that these new versions can help old stories reach new people who might never read the original.
Okay, so what do you think? Should movies stick to the book they're based on, or is it okay to change some things up? Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening. This is Maria.
Jimena.
So me.
Leslie. And I'll catch you next time.